today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Michael Dixon. It's a special New Year's Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
24-yard line.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st down, Bears.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Harrison.
The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 16 carries, 112 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync. And that bodes well this late in the season.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
That's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
Now Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Number 12.
Allen Robinson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
The ball carrier.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 10 carries, 51 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
3rd down and 6 yards to go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Bears take over 1st and 10.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And this will be a Bears 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Bears 1st down.
Montgomery. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
Again, the ball carrier.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky. This is caught. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Chicago 1st down. The former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bears 7, Vikings nothing.
They'll run forward Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25
The
yards.
Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
4 yards the pickup, first down. Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Across midfield down to the 45. That's good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Alexander Madison.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The ball carrier.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down.
18-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run. Cook. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
To throw is Rosen. And lucky to get away with 1 there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
Makes the score Bears 14.
That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. Some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. What did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
He rifles one incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it's 3rd and short.
It's 3rd down and 1.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of down.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
In punt formation.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And a white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
On the return, the Bears take over 1st and 10.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
Trubisky.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. As he's up to the 45-yard line.
Complete to Riley.
The play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
1st down.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
14 yards and a Chicago first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Robinson, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game, as the Bears push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
25-yard line.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And he's got Kyle Rudolph.
That's good.
And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears now ready to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Caught out left side by Robinson. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Vikings Vikings pick up the football. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And now it's Rosen looking. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Third quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. Rosen will throw. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Rosen to throw on 3rd down. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They run. This is Cohen. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's complete to Mooney. Touchdown, Chicago! 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fielded in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, we have to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. And
that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
The 45-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen caught left side Hopkins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. Working with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now it's Rosen. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Rosen. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what
they'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson.
Intercepted by the Bears. They'll take over on 1st down.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll start things on first with Tariq Cohen. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
The 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I'm want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. From midfield now, here's Rosen. It's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll try and throw forward with Rosen. That's caught inside the 20. And the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll be brought